Luis.
Good morning, sir. VP Luis, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Sir Jim. Good morning po.
Good morning, sir.
Morning po. Morning.
Sir Jimson, we can start na po live streaming and playing video.
Streaming? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Live streaming.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone. We are going to start the ceremonial virtual signing of our agreement in a few minutes. Thank you. Again, I'd like to personally welcome each one of you to our ceremonial virtual signing of the Memorandum of Agreement between Bicol University Philippines and, of course, the Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management Philippines. This day of February 10, 2022, we are actually live via conferencing of the Zoom and streaming live via the BU official Facebook account, and of course with the APOD Philippines Facebook official page. We would like also to acknowledge our media partners for this endeavor. We have the Philippine Information Agency, or the PIA, together with the Bicol University Communication and Public Relations Office. My name is Dimson, and I will be your host for today. Together with me is Professor Tesha Banyares, one of the facilitators for this morning's event. To formally welcome each one of you, I'd like to, of course, acknowledge the provost and attendees, the virtual participants of today's activity. From Bicol University, we have Ms. Abigail Jo M. Abainsa, the staff of the International Relations Office. We also have Professor Sherilyn Labayo, technical staff of the Center for Policy Studies and Development. We also have Professor Emmanuel Prenya, the technical staff for the Center for Policy Studies and Development, together with Dr. Gremil Alessandro Naz, the technical staff of the Center for Policy Studies and Development. Of course, we have Professor Maria Crescia C. Banyares, the technical staff of the Center for Technology, Commercialization, and Enterprise Development. And of course, yours truly, the Director of the International Relations Office, Dimson Rivero. We are also joined by the Director of the Center for Policy Studies and Development of Bicol University. We have Professor Elmer A. Lorenzana. And we are so thankful that we were...
Alaga pa lang po ako, mamahaling pili po sentro, nag-deliver. Sabi na.
Yes, we are also being joined by the Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension. We have Dr. Luis O. Amano. And of course, our very own SUC President 4 of Bicol University, we have Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascarenas. For the APOD Philippines attendees, we have the APOD Philippines participants. We have Ms. Ella Perote. We also have Mr. Mark Fernando, Ms. Mai Vallever, Mr. Anwar Dalipe, together with Mr. John Cedric Portueliano. And we also have Ms. Maricas Belen, Ms. Kristen Dean, Ms. Kathleen Baez, Ms. Chris Binyas, and of course the APED management. From the APED Management Office, we have Ms. Yoon Suk Yoon, and the member of the Board of Trustee of APOD, we have Ms. Kauri Neki Maida. Then we also have here the OICED of APOD Philippines, Ms. Athea Peñalosa. And of course, we have the acting president of APOD Philippines. We have Mr. Gilbert N. Albero. So without further ado, we are now going to formally start our activity. For the opening prayer to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silangan, anak ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisilip. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mabaga, may nilagang tulad, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Pag-isap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilinig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng malapit pagsinta mo'y langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na may mga pirang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Okay, thank you very much. We would like also to acknowledge the head of the PIA, COMSUR. We have Miss Annalisa Makatangay, and of course, one of the members of the Board of Trustees, and of course, the COO of APAD Philippines. We have Mr. Firzan Hajim. So at this juncture, at this time, we are now going to have our welcome remarks from the Vice President of Bicol University for Research, Development, and Extension. We have Dr. Luis O. Amaya. Sir.
Thank you, Sir Dim. Our beloved President, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas, Mr. Gilbert N. Albero, Acting President of the Asia-Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management, Philippines, dignitaries from Bicol University and of APAD, Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure on behalf of the Bicol University in general and of the Office of the Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension in particular to welcome you to this ceremonial virtual signing of the Memorandum of Agreement between Bicol University and APAD Philippines. Partnership between institutions, like friendship between individuals, are based on shared values. And there can be no doubt that the virtual presence of the officials of Bicol University and of APAD Philippines share important values. Today, we'll be laying down the areas of cooperation and will share to agree in advancing our development priorities and common bilateral interests. The signing of this Memorandum of Agreement is yet another expression that affinity and its power to bring people together to pursue a common purpose, that is disaster management. I would like to commend Professor Elmer A. Lorenzana, our Director for the Center for Policy Studies and Development, for doing the legwork to make this activity happen. Thank you very much, Sir Elmer. Actually, the Center for Policy Studies and Development have already submitted a proposal to help the micro enterprises in the province of Albay. Their proposal is entitled The Business Continuity Plan for Sustainability and Resiliency of Micro Enterprises in the province of Albay. This will surely help in making policies to help the micro enterprises in the province. We would like to express our sincerest gratitude to everyone present here today, especially those who work tirelessly to make this agreement possible. I believe everyone's effort will see fruition in the years to come. Thank you very much and good day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Luis Emano. A warm virtual applause for our VP for Research, Development, and Extension. Thank you very much, sir. And now moving on, we would like also to hear some words and messages from the provosts of Bicol University and of course the APAD Philippines. To start with, may I call on the SUC President of Bicol University, no other than Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dean. To our newfound partners from the Asia Pacific Disaster Management Philippines, headed by its acting president, Mr. Gilbert Albero, and of course to the BU team, especially the Center for Policy Studies and Development, headed by Dr. Elmer Lorenzana, to our Vice President for Research, Development and Extension, Dr. Louis Amano, and of course, a special mention to Ms. Analisa Makatangay, the Chief of the PIA, Kamsur. Good morning, everyone. Friends, as we all know, the Philippines as an archipelago and which location in the Pacific Ring of Fire is placed in a precarious situation where natural calamities are constantly a threat. In fact, throughout the year, we are visited by more than 20 typhoons, and many of these are in the category of super typhoon. The Bicol region, where our campus is located, is living in the shadow of the world-famous Mayon volcano. Therefore, we are indeed a hotbed of disaster. However, with the direction that our local government has continuously pursued, that of having a sound disaster risk reduction and other similar programs, we have become resilient not only as a people, but as a community. That is why we wholeheartedly welcome this partnership with the Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management Philippines, or AFAD. knowing fully well that the way towards resiliency is by building a network of like-minded groups and, of course, individuals to see the great potential of education as a major pathway by which disaster management principles can be best appreciated and implemented. Cooperation that our network of partnership can actually provide will truly be sufficient, particularly in the effective and efficient disaster assistance and management. After all, when disaster strikes, we do not let the disaster manage us. We manage the disaster and come out of it far more resilient because of strong partnerships and mutually supportive institutions. I hope that this partnership with AFAD will become a vehicle for enhancing our cooperation and coordination for the advancement and advocacy of disaster management. Looking at the memo of agreement between our two institutions, it's really worth mentioning that through this cooperation, it's also a recognition of what Bicol University can provide to AFAD when it comes to coming up with business continuity planning, which to me is very essential insofar as disaster management is concerned. We are gratefully thankful to our new partners and we welcome this latest significant engagement. Thank you for considering Bicol University as your partner. We hope to ensure a robust and long-lasting partnership with you as we acknowledge and thank the various men and women who paved the way for the realization and realization of this MOA signing and partnership engagement. And before I end my short message, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Adim for facilitating this MOA signing, and of course to the men and women who made possible this partnership with AFAD. And I'm referring to Dr. Elmer Lorenzana and the staff. So with this, my dear friends, thank you again and good morning once again.
Thank you very much, President Noli, for your warm welcome and messages to our participants for the virtual signing of our MOA. And also, we will be delighted to hear some words from the acting President of the Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management Philippines, no other than, help me welcome, Mr. Gilbert N. Albero. Sir.
Okay, so I'm unmute now. Sorry for the, the glitch. Just mabalos, Sir Dimson, for the introduction. Allow me to focus on some major things, like 3 of them. But first things first, good morning to us all for this peaceful, quiet morning away from disaster. Thank you to President Dr. Noli Mascareñas and the entire PU family, and also special mention to my colleagues in APAD Philippines, Sir Professor Elmer Lorenzana. And I would like to give special mention to APAD Angels, headed by Angel Chikay, and with his buddy, Chris, and the rest of the men and women of the APAD Philippines, and a special mention to our management office, to Madam Neki and Yoon, and a special mention also to our board member, Hash, Tusmaray na aga, and good morning. Again, is a very momentous event of collaboration and cooperation. First, allow me to spend some minutes. Where are we anchoring this partnership? Why BCP? Why MSME? The last year numbers of PSA, Philippine Statistics Authority, says that 99.51% composed of MSMEs, or micro, small, medium enterprises in the Philippines. And only maybe half of that, 0.5%, are the large enterprises. And the rest are all struggling micro enterprises. So that's what we're trying to do intervention. A while ago, our very own Dr. Ceremonial mentioned about our geographical location as the friendliest typhoon in our country. More or less 25% visit us every year. Even though Bicolanos are already resilient. Every time the end of the year, Mr. Typhoon comes to visit us. But that one gives a very, very large, huge impact in our economy. Everyone of us here in the Bicol would attest that talagang typhoon gives us very, very hard impact in terms of economic situation. So that's why we have to really address the MSME's concern of providing the right action, the right preparation, the right attitude in facing disaster. That's where I'm going to go next. The Sendai framework anchors this activity that we would like to really get our strength from. The Sendai framework says that we have to build everything better to reduce disaster, or even, if it's possible, to really zero in the impact of disaster to our locality. So the Sendai framework gives us a very ambitious objective to reduce the risk of livelihood, health, and economic impact to our community. And that's where we go next. The challenge of collaboration. That I would like to really overcome the kanya-kanya attitude of us people. So by being one, by being together in facing the reality that every year haunts us, will move us to a more sustainable development of our very own Bicol, of our very own Philippines. So again, our deepest in the name of our leadership, in our men and women of APAD Philippines, our heartfelt gratitude, considering us as your partner in really collaborating, in pushing the Sendai framework to push our MSMEs be disaster resilient every day as we operate each and every business in the Bicol region. Thank you for the support of the Management Office of APAD and the rest of men and women of APAD Philippines. Our deepest gratitude to all of us. And as we face the lasting challenges of really coming up with a collaboration that lasts, it will not end in just a simple signing of this memorandum of agreement, but the real challenge is the implementation of our product, of our BCP, as we lay down it to the ground, to the MSMEs that we are addressing for. Again, Marhay na aga, good morning everyone, and a disaster-free morning to us all.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure is always ours. we would like also to thank APAD Philippines for articulating your interest. Yes, sir.
Excuse lang. Sorry, I failed to mention Madam Lisa Makatangay of PIA. I'm sorry, Madam Lisa. Thank you so much for your presence today. Thank you, Sir Dimson.
Yes, sir. We are also very, very thankful to the head of the TIA ComSur. Yes, Ma'am Annalisa is also with us as one of our media partners for this activity. So likewise, what I was saying a while ago, we are very delighted, sir, also by your articulation of your interest to partner with us, Bicol University, and we are so glad that APOD Philippines is in one way or another with Bicol University in trying to put an imperative significance to the business continuity plan, to the micro entrepreneurs of here in the province of Albay. So thank you so much, President Gilbert, and likewise, thank you so much, President Noli, for your messages. Now we proceed to the presentation of the project brief and the rationale of the program to be given to us by Dr. soon-to-be Dr. Elmer A. Lorenzana, the Director of the Center for Policy Studies and Development of Bicol University. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. The partnership between Bicol University through the Center for Policy Studies and Development and Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management, Philippines, is anchored on strengthening the resiliency of micro-entrepreneurs in the province of Albay by providing capacity building on business continuity plan to micro-enterprises. In the Philippines, micro-enterprises comprise about 90% of the total micro, small, medium enterprises or MSMEs. 62% of the total employment is generated by MSMEs, of which micro-enterprises contribute the biggest share of percentage of employment. However, they are the most vulnerable sector to man-made and natural disasters. The existing training design of Business Continuity Plan or BCP is more suitable for structured businesses such as small, medium, and large enterprises. Hence, this project engagement aims to develop a BCP that is tailored fit for micro enterprises, particularly to the barangay level. We call it community-based BCP. More so, this project will be piloted to selected barangay of Legazpi City that are highly susceptible to the impact of Mount Mayong eruption and floods. The APAD PH will provide the resources needed in mobilization of micro-entrepreneurs for project-related activities and implementation of BCP training to the barangay level. Close to this, the Bicol University CPSD will be responsible for the research component of the training design and implementation of BCP. This includes the measurement of the capacity of the micro-entrepreneurs in identifying and evaluating disaster risks, assessing the impact of disaster to their business operation, and formulating business continuity strategies. BU and APAD Philippines will collaborate in producing a community-based BCP that is appropriate for micro-enterprise. This project is timely as businesses need to restructure their operation to the new normal. The impact of this project is very significant as it strengthens the capacity of micro-enterprises to restore their operation despite any disruption of business operation due to disasters. Resilient micro-enterprises ensure local employment and robust economic activities in the local levels or barangay levels. Likewise, this partnership narrows down the gap between academe and development practitioners. Bicol University as an academe provides empirical evidence through research on policy and development, while APAD Philippines as a development practitioner utilize the result of the research and development. This partnership harmonizes the academe and development practitioner and providing an evidence-based intervention to micro enterprises and making them resilient and sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Elmer Lorenzana, for setting up the project brief and the rationale of our bilateral agreement. So now we come to the highlight of our collaborative partnership, the sealing or the signing of the Memorandum of Agreement. But allow me first to give you the scope of our strategic cooperation. The Memorandum of Agreement is entered into and by between the Asia-Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management, Philippines, as a nonprofit and non-stock corporation registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission with an office in Quezon City, Philippines, represented by its president, Mr. Gilbert N. Albero, and Bicol University, a state university, crafted by RA number 5521 with office in Legazpi City, Bicol region, represented by our university president, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascarenhas. The APAD Philippines is going to implement a project on strengthening community resilience for disaster preparedness and disaster response through multi-sectoral collaboration in the Bicol region through capacity building on business continuity planning for micro entrepreneurs and other relevant interventions for disaster risk reduction and management. APAD Philippines also seeks partnership with government agencies, particularly Bicol University, to effectively implement its various development programs for DRRM and to strengthen the spirit of collaboration among enablers, actors in the society for community resilience and sustainability. Then the Bicol University, through the Center for Policy Studies and Development, promotes transdisciplinary and state-of-the-art approaches in analyzing policy issues of regional and national significance for a well-informed and balanced decision by policymakers and stakeholders to make Bicol the most livable region in the country. The CPSD promotes strong partnership with the public and private sectors to ensure multi-stakeholder involvement in policy discussion, research, and advocacy in the thematic area on climate change, adaptation, and disaster risk reduction. The partnership between APAD Philippines and Bicol University recognizes the importance of BCP to strengthen the resilience and sustainability of businesses in the province of Albay. And then the BU and APAD Philippines partnership should collaborate in the implementation of the BCP to micro entrepreneurs in the province of Albay as a capacity building of APAD, PH, and research extension of Bicol University CPSD. At this juncture, at this time, may I request the signatories of the binding agreement to sign the fourth page of the MOA. Of course, for the signing of the bilateral agreement for this particular cooperation, we have the signatories from Bicol University, SUC President for Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascarenhas, and of course, the acting president of APAD Philippines, we have President Gilbert N. Albero, to be witnessed by the Executive Director of APAD Philippines, Ms. Athea M. Peñalosa, and of course, the Director of the BU-CPSD, Professor Elmer Lorenzana. I believe that we already have signed the binding agreement. We have finally sealed our partnership for further collaboration in the near future. So may I now request the provost from both ends to show us the signed contract for documentation purposes. Sir John Cedric will be documenting our signing of the agreement. So hold your smile.
Hey everyone, so 1, 2, 3 smile. Thank you so much.
Okay, at this time also we would like to request everybody to please turn on their cameras for documentation purposes. We would like to see your lovely and handsome faces on the virtual podium. Sir John Cedric will also take the documentation. So wear your best smiles, or you can smile with your eyes. Sir John Cedric.
Okay, sir. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
Okay, we're good now. Congratulations, Bicol University, and of course, hearty congratulations, APOD Philippines. We are also delighted by our concerted effort in coming up with this kind of collaborative partnership in the milieu of BCP as far as the micro-entrepreneurs of Bicol region are concerned. Now, to formally close our program, I would like to call on our dear Mr. Firzan Hajim, the member of the Board of Trustees and the COO of the Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management Philippines. Sir, we are delighted to hear your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Dimson. And initially, I think I should thank you guys for having such an event, which is virtual but live, you know. And we are so glad that this is taking place at a time when we actually require for the micro enterprises and the private sector in particular to come out of its roots, as you mentioned about the new normal. And President Mascarenas, your team, the management team, of course, the VP for Research, Development and Extension, Dr. Louis, Dr. Dimson, Professor Christia, thank you so very much for putting this together. And if not for President Gilbert and Professor Elmer, and as he said, the angels of APAD, this would not come through. And I'm so thankful that at a time where we cannot move around, things are just moving forward. And this is exactly what we look forward to. In terms of APAD, I speak on behalf of the chairman, the Board of Trustees, CEO, management directors, and overall, we were just discussing about, we are into our 10th year of a decade of APAD from the time it established and how we could move forward. And this is the step forward indeed, where the academia, which is a vital part in this economic development or otherwise, would want to come in at a crucial time and support the micro enterprises. We in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and in the other areas too are looking at how we can basically come back or build better in terms of the pandemic and the recurring disasters that we are having. As we know, Philippines is also called a supermarket for disasters. So are we in certain areas as well. So in the Asia Pacific region where we are, we need to see how we can create resilience. And I think the best way to create resilience is the micro, because we have seen the smaller industries also falling back to the micro given the current circumstances. And please take it from us, and I speak on behalf of our board, and we have a board meeting, which would be in the next 2 weeks, where we would take this not locally in Philippines, but we are taking it internationally. And this will be of utmost importance to all of us in the Asia Pacific region and beyond. And as we speak now, APAD is in Fiji supporting the Tonga response. So we look forward to even expand more, and we would keep Philippines APAD and especially the Bicol University as our the lead academia in supporting our implementation programs. And that's a promise that we make, because I have been in Nepal, so I have been in Philippines many a times, and I saw the strength of the academia there and have spoken to so many. And again, thanks so much to Professor Elmer. And we have got the right board in place in Philippines itself. So thank you so very much. And thank you for the staff and President Mascarenas once again to you and your excellent team. And thank you so very much, Mr. Dimson, for hosting and carrying on this. And it's such a, I was just thinking whether I can make use of you for our programs as well. And thank you once again. Thank you once again to all of you. And on behalf of APAD board chairman and the rest of them, and we wish you all the very success, and we would continue this support right throughout. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. Our pleasure also to have you for the closing remarks. And of course, before we come to an end, we would like to hear some words of commitment from the director of the Center for Policy Studies, the man of the hour. We have Dr. Elmer A. Lorenzana. Sir.
As the director of the CPSD, or Center for Policy Studies and Development, I express my deepest commitment to ensure the successful implementation of this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Likewise, may I call on the OIC ED of APAD Philippines. We have Miss Athea Peñalosa. Ma'am.
Yes, good morning to each and everyone. On the part of APAD Philippines commits itself to this pioneering endeavor with the Bicol University that gives special focus on the preparedness of the micro enterprises in developing a PCP module that reflects the needs and capacity of micro enterprises, which is the heart of the economy in every community. Again, good morning, and may we all have a blessed day ahead.
Thank you so much, Ms. Athea, for your lovely words of commitment. We really appreciate that. So we are now in the end of our program. I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for putting your hands into this kind of agreement between academia and, of course, the Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management Philippines. Bicol University is so grateful to have finally sealed an agreement with the APAD Philippines. So this has been your host for today. My name is Dimson, and of course, I am with Mom Crescia Banyares and Abby Abainsa, now signing off. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day ahead. God bless us all. Salute to our APAD Philippines team and, of course, Bicol University team. It's going to be a lovely morning to, to start the day. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Mga pangarap kayang abutin, pag-asa ng ambisyon natin, di kukuha tulog-tulog. Saan man magpunta sadlakan mga balakid sa daan parang hindi malagpasan. Tumingala, sa bituin ang karunungan pag sinabing biyuan nyo hindi yan uurungan. Dugo kasun, ating tinataglay, ilapas mo sa baon, talent kong ibinigay sa tinadya sa mga kumbaga, iba ka sa kanila kung di ka nililiwa patuloy niyan kanta.